Hi, welcome back to Ranger Garage. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the throttle position sensor and how to install it. This is my 89 Ford Bronco engine, 351 Windsor, 5.8 liter fuel injection. Now the throttle position sensor, and I'll show you, I've got the replacement right here. The throttle position sensor is a small little wire device. If you bought one at AutoZone or O'Reilly, it's probably around 40, 50 bucks. I believe you can get them from our friends at rockauto.com for around half that price. I already had one, so I didn't have to purchase one. But I'll show you exactly where it's at. This is the throttle position sensor right here. It connects to this wiring harness here, and then it goes down up under here to the throttle body right here. It's up under the bottom of the throttle body. This should be the final piece of the puzzle to the stalling and the kind of a rough idle and difficult starting that I've been having with the Bronco. Just to recap, after driving the Bronco for a while, it has a tendency to stall when you stop and it drops below certain RPMs. That leads to basically 3 or 4 main causes. The map sensor right here, which we already replaced, the idler air control valve, which we just recently replaced, and of course up under the bottom, which we talked about already, up under here, and you can check the other videos, the oxygen sensor. Now the only other option that it could be is the throttle position sensor. Okay, that's another common cause of this. Now, I believe it's probably a concert of all of them because all of these are original and have not been replaced. So hopefully this solves our problem. And if not, well, then it's back to the drawing board. But that's what we're going to take care of today, so stay tuned. So we are going to remove the throttle body, and you are going to have to replace the throttle body gasket, which I already have. So replace the throttle body gasket and remove the TPS sensor from the bottom of the throttle body, replace that, and then put it back on. The throttle body is only held on by 4 bolts, one here, one over here, and then 2, one here and one down there. Probably didn't see them, but that's okay. We'll zoom in and let you see what we're looking at later. And then just a reminder, the throttle position sensor is held on by 2 screws at the bottom of the throttle body, and I'll show you all of that. So stay tuned. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these hoses here. Now I've already loosened them up. Standard screwdriver here. Just loosen those clamps. There's 2 here and 2 on the end next to the air cleaner. Just pops right off. And this pops right off. Now I've got a really good view at 3 of the bolts. The 4th one is kind of wedged down back in there, but once you remove disconnect the wire, move some of the tubes, it works out just fine. So first thing is 13mm socket, at least on mine. And if it doesn't come right out with the drill, that's when you use the socket. That's what I was afraid of. Oh, caught it. These gloves are great for keeping your hands clean, but sometimes not the best for holding on to small objects. Put these down here in a catch basin so I don't lose them. I want to strip that bad boy, so I'm going to use a wiggler because of the angle that it's at. All right. It's a little tight, so I'm going to have to use the socket. This way you can tell I didn't pre-loosen everything before I started the video. So I want you to see how hard or how easy this is. There we go. That broke loose. Now this should come right out there. Let's hope. There's the third one. Now to get to this fourth one, it is kind of buried up under there, but it's not hard to get to. First thing we want to do is we want to unplug the throttle position sensor, which is fine. Now with the throttle position sensor, it actually sits on this plate, so you're gonna have to pop that loose. It's no problem. And then just kind of squeeze that out of the way. Then we are going to use the same wiggler, universal joint wiggler, whichever you want to call it. And now that we've got pretty much a direct line in here, which I do. And given the fact that it's hard to get to, we're gonna keep it like that. Try to get up under here. I'm gonna be careful when doing this with a hot engine, because it will suck. And got it. Oh, engine's hot. Okay. So now we've got our 4 bolts out. The next thing we'll have to do is coming right out of the side of the throttle body, right between the 2 barrels. So this hose right here, hopefully you can see it, this hose right here, this just pops out. Just give it a tug and see it connects right onto here. Just give that a tug and get that out of the way. And then that reveals that's where the throttle position sensor is. The only other fittings that you may need to loosen up is this one up here and this one down here. Okay, so now the only other concern I've got is, and I want to be careful, is the throttle cable. I'm gonna have to remove it all. Because I'm going to need to clean up the surface of the throttle body. So these hoses are coming off and this has to come off. So I've already loosened this one up in anticipation. Maybe. We'll see. I'll loosen up some more. Okay, and understand when you do that, you're going to get some coolant coming down on you. And if the engine's hot, you got to be careful because it could burn you. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off. Try and not break it. I have to take my gloves off so I get a good feel. Probably gonna have to bleed the system again. that was fun. Now for me on my vehicle, this cable here, I actually have to snip a retaining pin that I have on here, which will allow me to take it off. Actually, I don't have to snip it. Forgot I made that adjustment. So that is popped off. And the only other one I gotta take off is I gotta loosen up this bottom bracket, or bottom retaining clip. That's it, hose clamp. There. The hose clamp is loose. I'm also going to disconnect the air modular control, or air idler air control valve, which we've installed. Just disconnect that cable there. And now, yeah, that's not going to come off easily. One of the issues for this is what I made a mistake on early on is I used a gasket sealant. Do not use a gasket sealant on your throttle body. Just don't do it. You're into the problem that I'm running into now. So I will pause this, take care of that, get that off, and then I'll come back. Okay, so that took about 2 minutes. All I did was hit it with a 5-pound mallet and not hard. Just tapped it right here on the side, and that popped it loose, just like that. Now, what this is gonna do for me, I think, is I am not gonna have to take off this bottom hose. I'll just unscrew these and I'll clean up the gasket surface, and we'll take it from there. All right. Okay, so to clean up the gasket surface, the thing I like to use most is a flat razor blade. You got to be careful with this that you don't, gouge the surface. That is extremely important. But you definitely have to make sure that you get all the excess gasket material off.